welcome to another episode of the Afro Millennial. Today's episode was inspired by a conversation or a thread I saw on Twitter or X about two very talented musicians in our not in our time that we know of. I know of both of them, though I haven't studied their music that much. I know of them because they're both popular in my circles. So these two musicians are Daddy Lumba and Michael Jackson. So the first thing that came to my mind when I read that argument, when I started seeing these conversations popping up, was how can you compare Michael Jackson to Daddy Lumba? Like, they are two different. One was into pop and one was into high life. And high life is music that's known mostly to West Africans. I know Nigerians have high life, the Igbos have high life, and then Ghana, like the high life that we know. So I was wondering, like, what would bring about such comparisons, right? So anyway, I started thinking, why these things? Like, I got curious too. I wanted to know who is a better musician among them, right? Comparing them, even though I didn't think it was a fair comparison, I didn't really see things they had in common. So I was like, okay, let me just see. It's interesting. I want to know who is the best musician among them, right? So who would I ask? Whoever were in the Twitter threads were like very, very loyal either to Michael Jackson or to Daddy Lumba. So I didn't think they were the right people to ask. So I was like, okay, let me just go to ChatGPT. Hopefully, I was hoping to get like an objective review of both musicians. So for a background, if you don't know who Daddy Lumba is a high life musician in Ghana. He's a legend in Ghana. Like he sang mostly. Well, he was a legend because sadly he passed just a few weeks ago. So he sang mostly in Twi, which is one of the languages in Ghana. So his music didn't cross borders. Like, people outside Ghana don't know him because of that. So that's Daddy Lumba, legend, but only known in Ghana. Michael Jackson, we all know Michael Jackson as the king of pop. Like, we all know him. He's very popular, showman. And like, I don't think anybody my age or older or even slightly younger would argue about not knowing Michael Jackson anywhere in the world. Even younger generations, younger people, like teenagers, I'm sure they know Michael Jackson because he was known all over the world, or he's still known. His name is still known all over the world. So these are the two people I asked ChatGPT to compare. So the first question I asked ChatGPT was just general. Who is the better musician between Michael Jackson and Daddy Lumba? And ChatGPT answered based on context, musical genre, global impact, cultural significance, and personal taste. So based on all those criteria that ChatGPT used, it said Michael Jackson was the better musician. I mean, apart from musical style and influence, which is said depends on the genre you prefer, right? So I said, okay, based on the arguments we're having on Twitter or X, who is the better songwriter between them? And it still said Michael Jackson is arguably the better global pop songwriter, right? So it's like, based on if you're Ghanaian or love African high life, you might choose Daddy Lumba to be the better songwriter, but that's not what I wanted to know. I wanted to compare them, like, so I was like, okay, is the global consideration that's making ChatGPT say these things? Okay, let's remove that. So without global consideration, or without considering global impact, who would you say was a better songwriter? So ChatGPT gave a clear answer. It said Daddy Lumba could be considered the best or the better songwriter between the two. And then it gave the reasons, which, it said Daddy Lumba often layered his songs with metaphors, proverbs, and emotional nuance, which are common to African language or West African language most of the time, like proverbs and all that. So it gave all that, but I still ChatGPT asked if I would like a side-by-side example of lyrics in to see this in action, to see what's like the verdict ChatGPT just gave in action. So they compared Stranger in Moscow and then Daddy Lumba's Abin Wahai and Teresa. And yes, but then I went on to look at the songs that the people on Twitter were arguing about. So I was like, okay, let's see if 5 of Daddy Lumba's best written songs based on what his fans think, and 5 of Michael Jackson's best written songs based on what his fans think. So I started doing the comparison one by one. So I compared Man in the Mirror to Ankwanoma, and then ChatGPT did all the breakdown and translated from Tree to English, and the final reflection. Okay, it said if you're looking for broad inspirational songwriting, Michael Jackson's song shines, but for deep personal storytelling that connects emotionally and spiritually, Lumba's Ankwanoma markers to the soul. So I did different songs, and I want to see the so it was giving me general answers again. So I was like, let's cut to the chase, do the comparisons again, and tell me which ones are lyrically superior, because we are looking at who is a better songwriter now, right? So we did Michael Jackson's They Don't Care About Us and Makra Mo from by Daddy Lumba, and it said, oh, it's tied, both are socially aware and morally grounded from different angles, right? Then the overall verdicts, these are, let me see, so the overall verdict is Lumba's Makra Mo. Now let's go to the second comparison, which is Man in the Mirror and Ankwanoma, and I'm just going to go straight to the overall verdict. Superior song, Ankwanoma by Daddy Lumba. Now I went to the next one, Billie Jean and Teresa, and the verdict, the overall one, Teresa won again. And I'll leave, maybe I should scroll slower so you see all that. I just don't want to read through, but a comparison between let's see which one I did. Earth Song and Mempaibo had Mempaibo by Daddy Lumba winning again. So let's see, I did one more song, I think, Black or White and Obiat Nesobo. And final verdict, Lumba's song won again. So in all, it seems when you translate to English and you take out the global impact, if you're just looking at who is more poetic, who's more gifted with crafting words or putting words together, like, what's the word for that? Okay, who is a better poet or songwriter or just writer? Like, who is the better philosopher who could think of or deep thoughts, who could think deeper thoughts and then bring those thoughts into words, into powerful lyrics for us to see? I think ChatGPT, like, hands down, agreed that it was Lumba. But then, language is a big thing. Language is a big barrier. So based on that, I mean, English language is more widely spoken than Tree, and the way Tree itself is, like, you can say some things in Tree and then it will lose its gravity once you translate to English. So I think, it's just different audiences, I think. But anyway, this is the final verdict by ChatGPT. So yes, this is the comparison ChatGPT did. Hopefully it was objective enough, and I think it was objective, because I mean, ChatGPT doesn't have any reason to be biased towards one person apart from biases in AI here that we know of. But yeah, I think this is it. Like, everybody is known, or musicians are loved by the people they write the music for. So I think both musicians achieved that, right? So Michael Jackson's aim was to be a worldwide artist. He sang in English. He sang about general topics that most people could relate to, and he got that. People knew him worldwide. He had worldwide fame. Daddy Lumba, his focus was in Ghana, and the social issues he wrote about were things that were peculiar to the Ghanaian society or the Akan society or his life. Like, so he wasn't reaching out to a very big audience, but those he reached out to, he got the kind of he made the kind of impact he wanted to do. So I think both of them did a great work, like, and they made an impact in the world to the people that mattered to them. So Daddy Lumba in Ghana, Michael Jackson in the whole world. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Michael Jackson is better than Daddy Lumba, or Daddy Lumba is better than Michael Jackson in all aspects? Like, just let me know. Do you think it's a fair comparison? Do you think we are right to be comparing these two musicians? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and please be respectful. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. So when you are replying to someone's comment or making a counter point to someone's point, just be respectful, because we are all allowed to share our opinions. I want this to be a sanitary place for us to all be able to come and air our views. Thank you very much for tuning in to this channel. I hope to see you soon in my next video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, like, share to your friends who you think might be interested in this discussion. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.